Oh, hey guys. Hey. Oh, anyway, this is like another video I kind of want to do. It's, you know, I have a certain irrational love for certain comic book characters. Some might say that it makes me crazy. Oh, and I'm wearing this hat because it's really cold and I don't want to turn the heater up because I'll probably turn it off by accident like an idiot. But anyway, so this is gonna be a video explaining why I love Doctor Doom so much. I mean, when I first started on YouTube, my handle name was HitmanVonDoom after Doctor Doom and Bret Hart. I since changed it, but that's me. I mean, I just gotta explain why he is. See, the thing about the character that I love so much is that he's an enigma, in a sense, for me, personally. You can't really explain Doctor Doom a whole lot. You can't explain his motive, his actions. It's like the only thing I could really explain is that he hates Reed Richards, and that's really it. You can't really explain the character too much. You can't explain why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? What's his game? Is he a villain? Is he a hero? You can't explain him. He's just such an enigma, because it's like you think he does villainous things, like he sent Reed Richards' son to hell. I mean, that's pretty villainous, but at the same time, he's done things that have been heroic. It's weird. I mean, I think this Axis was one of the things of him being heroic once. I mean, he's done things that are against villains. He's fought other villains. He's fought heroes. He's played both of those heroes and villains against each other. It's like, for me, a true villain is someone like Red Skull. No redeemable quality. A true hero, Spider-Man. He doesn't fall into that. He doesn't even fall into anti-hero either. I mean, you got your heroes, you got your villains, you got your anti-heroes, and then you got your guys that are just out there in their own little platform that don't fit into any sort of category. And that's where Doctor Doom lies. He's in like his own special category. Doesn't really fall into any categories. And just to give you an example, I mean, for example, he wants to take over the world. But why does he want to take over the world? Is it because he's evil and after reading Doom War, it's like, you think he wants to take over because he's evil, right? But then I read Doom War, and he went through this test of purity to try to get the vibranium from Wakanda, and apparently he passed the test of purity, and the reason was because even though his methods are horrible, he wanted to take over the world and wanted the vibranium in order to save humanity from itself, because he would look through all the futures, and in one of the futures where humanity survived, he was the ruler of the world. So in that sense, he wants to take over the world so he can save humanity. It's like, you see what I'm saying? It's really insane. The character's just so unexplainable. He's just in his own little platform there. And not only that, too, I mean, for example, there's another one where it's in Fantastic Four 247. He was disposed of in Latveria. The Fantastic Four disposed of him, and he was no longer ruler. They came back to Latveria. Latveria's doing horribly. Latveria, his country, is like complete shambles. I mean, the guy who replaced him is drunk with power, and people are actually happy to see Doctor Doom return and take over again. I mean, in fact, he even is raising or helped raise a victim during that battle in Fantastic Four 47. Someone was under his protection, and his mom dies, and he took the kid in, and he raised him. It's like, I don't see many villains really doing that, And at the same time, he raised his kid, but once he went to adulthood, he kind of used him and played him as a pawn, and then but yet he still cares for him, and it's just, you get this really weird dichotomy with this character, And I think the best example of this is his relationship with Valeria, which is Reed Richards' daughter. I think because he helped give birth to, during the birthing process, he helped Sue Storm give birth to Valeria, and I think it's very interesting the relationship that those two have, because he actually genuinely cares for the character, while at the same time he hates her father. It's just such an interesting dichotomy there, and I think that the relationship between those two characters really illustrate that. so well that there's a villainous character, but at the same time, there's a redeemable quality with him. It's just, I don't know, but that's like the biggest reason I like Doctor Doom. It's like, he doesn't fit the mold of anything, really. He just does his own thing. He does what he wants, when he wants, and he doesn't have a set motive that's cliche. He's an enigma, and I can find parallels to that with me, because I kind of don't really fit in anywhere either. I kind of just do my own thing, so that's one of the big reasons, one of the biggest reasons I like the character. He's just, and not only that, but the other reason is that Doctor Doom is a badass. He is such a freaking badass. I mean, all the things that he has done, he's just such a badass. The character is just such a strong character. He's a very strong-willed, very determined. He never gives up. He just keeps coming at you. He's really scrappy. And those are typically the qualities you find in like a hero like Spider-Man. So he has like heroic like qualities even though he's a villain. And I say this because he's supposed to be a villain. And he's just such a badass, and some of the things that he's done, he has his own country. He's like one of the main villains. Just to show some badassery he's done, he's fought the devil, he fought Mephisto and won in his realm. He's retaken Latveria. He sent Reed Richards' son to hell. Oh god, he's battled and beat the Red Skull multiple times. But anyway, that's why I love the character. It's just the fact that he's just such a strong character. The character qualities of just strong will, determination. The fact that he doesn't really fit into any category. He's like his own character, just does his own thing. Just an enigma, like as I said. And, I know I didn't articulate that very well. But just some recommended readings if you want to kind of get to see some good stuff from Doctor Doom. Secret Wars number 10. I highly, highly recommend reading this. This is actually what made me a fan of the character. In this issue, Doctor Doom battles the Beyonder. And in this issue, the Beyonder pretty much has like the power of God, essentially. He's creating things, moving things, and yet, somehow, someway, Doctor Doom is battling him. He usurps the powers of Galactus, and not only does he battle, and he's severely outmatched, but he doesn't give up, and he actually triumphs against the Beyonder. He actually finds some way to win. It's, just shows how strong the character, how strong-willed he is. The next issue is Fantastic Four 200. And see, this issue I recommend because this issue shows Doctor Doom at his very worst, his most villainous, petty, spiteful, hateful. This shows the character at his very worst, like refusing to admit any mistakes. This is Doctor Doom at his very worst, and that's why I highly recommend it, because you don't get a lot of stories where Doctor Doom just completely loses it. And this is, in my opinion, when Doctor Doom kind of loses his cool. You don't get too many stories like that. So, and pretty much it's him versus Reed Richards in a Smithsonian Museum. And it's just an all-out battle, but definitely check it out. Another one is Supervillain Team-Up number 12. I highly recommend this too, because this is Doctor Doom versus the Red Skull on the Moon, and this is him battling another villain. You see, the story goes, the Red Skull tried to take over Latveria again, and he's actually kind of somewhat successful. And she thinks Doctor Doom's the bad ruler, some people think. Check the Red Skull out. Red Skull is so much worse. And not only did he battle on his moon, and Doctor Doom triumphed. And not only did he triumph, but the Red Skull's men are actually right there going to attack Doom after he triumphed over Red Skull. And Doctor Doom has such charisma and such a presence about him and such authority and command that he managed to convincingly persuade these men of the Red Skull to forget him, to not attack him, to just leave him alone. He commanded such a presence that he pretty much managed to switch the sides of Red Skull soldiers. It just shows the character. Another one is Fantastic Four 247. This is another one. This is where Doctor Doom reclaims Latveria. I like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of this cover because it looks like he's taking a dump on Latveria, just in this position. But, like I said, the reason I like that the story so much is it shows that Doctor Doom, like, he's supposed to be a villain, but yet he's treated as like a hero in this. You know, like I said, and this is why I go back to saying he doesn't really fit into a category, Enigma. I mean, because without him, Latveria has just fallen into shambles, and it's just chaos. And this is where he vows to protect Kristoff, his, the son. This is where, somebody actually goes and hugs him and knees by him and thinks that he's back. It's like, he's still, and this is where he takes it back. You kind of see a different side of him, that some people actually really love him. And of course, last but not least, Triumph and Torment I got the first print hardcore. Triumph and Torment, Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange. This is a story where Doctor Doom rescues his mother's soul from Mephisto's realm. I mean, this is such a good story. I mean, you get every type of Doom imaginable. You get a little telling of his origin. You get to see how strong-willed he is. Just him actually teaming up with Doctor Doom, following Doctor Strange, and just him working together. It just shows a different side of Doctor Doom that you may have not felt existed. But for me, this is the Doctor Doom story. And so, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do more of these type of characters, like why I love this character, because I probably would like to have a Rogue one up, and I would like to have maybe I would Scarlet Spider, why I love that character up, maybe Magneto somewhere down the line, but yeah, this is a new type of video that I may be testing out. So if you guys please leave a comment, let me know what you think of these type of videos. If you have any suggestions, let me know, because this is like a trial video to see how things are going, to see if this is, because I'm kind of tossing around whether or not I want to make it a regular thing. So leave your feedback there. What do you think? And yeah, so I hope I introduced you to the character, and I hope that maybe you might pick up some of the things and just check the character out a little bit.